Hello everyone. Today we're going to be going over a demonstration of Technology Manager and how quickly and easily it is to use Technology Manager to create milling and turning tool assemblies to later be used in an NX session for simulation and verification. Technology Manager is a universal tool management system that provides classification and hierarchical data management. It can seamlessly be integrated with your PLM solutions such as Teamcenter or your CAD and CAM solutions such as NX. I'm going to quickly log in here and we can begin our demo. So we can see here on the left hand side our classification structure. It starts out with assemblies and gets broken down into our classes. Within each of these we have our subclasses. Again, this classification structure can be configured and customized to fit your business's needs. On the right hand side of the user interface, we see the card view of the tool assemblies already created within Technology Manager. Within each of these cards, we see 5 key attributes that we designated for each tool assembly. These 5 attributes can also be changed and configured to fit your business's needs. There's also a table view, which allows for the programmer to go in, quickly toggle between each assembly and get a nice preview down here at the bottom. This is not a 2D representation of the model, but also a 3D. And we can examine the tool assembly further. Table view is also nice because we can do a quick filter based on any attribute. You can see here we have all of our diameters coming from smallest to largest, starting out with the 1/4 inch end mills. If we hop back to the card view, we can also find tool assemblies just by scrolling along in the card view, or we can use the very quick and easy search functionality within Technology Manager. All you have to do is start typing in a tool attribute, it'll self-populate, and then you select the expression you're looking to search on. So I'm looking for a 1/4 inch end mill, simply type in 1/4 inch. And we're going to see here all the 1/4 inch end mills that are in this database at the moment. This search bar also has a save search section here at the bottom. This save search bar is saved for each user and for each subclass within Technology Manager. So we can see here as I come to end mill, we have additional search filters based on my user preference, and if we swap over to spherical mill, we don't have anything saved here. These filters are able to be toggled on and off, deleted, or easily interchanged. That's an easy way for users to come in here and find specific tooling assemblies or tooling components without having any problems. Now we can look at the classification structure of the base tools, which we can see here. Underneath the base tools, we have a very similar class structure to assemblies, broken out from milling, drilling, turning into our subclasses. When we go down to components, we will see that we have milling and drilling and turning, and within each of these we have subclasses as well, such as holders and extensions. Now I'm going to start this demonstration off by creating an end mill, 1/4 inch end mill tool assembly. To do that first, we're going to come in here and create our base tool. We can select milling, end mill, in the create step. From here, we're going to get a table view of all the attributes associated to this tooling item. On the right side, we're going to see a graphical view of the attributes on the tool. The user can come in and make edits wherever he sees fit, simply by double-clicking on any attribute in the image, entering in a new value. Or you can find the value you're looking for on the table side, such as the shank diameter, and make adjustments here, and you're going to see those be updated on the right-hand side. You can make changes to the length. And we can populate the description here. Once we have our base tool created, we can hit next, and we're going to get a nice preview window in the finalize step. Here is also a 3D representation of the tool we just built, so we can get one final look at it. And we have the name generator here at the top. Name generator can be customized to fit your naming rules. So if you want it always to be populated with a prefix such as EM for endmill, we can have that populated and then an underscore incremental number. Come here, manually do it. We'll see once we validate, this will be the name of the tool. We'll now have this tool in our database here at the top. If we ever want to make changes, we simply double click. It'll populate a details window. We can check out the base tool and make necessary changes. So say we wanted to add a quarter radius, you can quickly come here, enter that in, and we'll see it populate here on the image. You can also come over, make changes on this image as well, save it, and check it back in. Once we have our base tool, we can now make our holder. Hit the create button, we're going to select milling drilling holder. Within here, you're going to notice it's a little bit different than the base tool. We don't have any image populate on the right hand side. So what we have to do is actually build out the holder using steps or a 3D import. So most of you are familiar here with the component step creation that you see in NX. You simply come in here, enter in the values, and you're going to see here on the right hand side the holders start to be built out. Now, if you don't want to manually type in these values, Technology Manager also offers another solution called the step editor. Here you can draw out the holder based on dimensions and later make changes to those values. If we zoom out here, you can see what we already created and start drawing out some of the additional steps we want added to this holder. Once we click accept, we'll go back to our create window, and you'll see here on the left hand side all the steps we just created, along with the right hand side the image that we just created. Again, just like the base tool, we can simply double click and make edits as needed. Or you can come on this side and again make edits as needed, and it'll populate here on the right hand side. Now, if these first two processes seem a little intensive for creating a holder, luckily Technology Manager has a third option, the 3D import. Once I click this button, we're going to be prompted within NX to find a tool holder that we want to import. So let's say we got this tool holder from a manufacturer and we want to quickly create it in Technology Manager. All we have to do is create our holder component, select the 3D part import, go back into NX, and we're going to be prompted with this new window. I already selected the holder body. All we have to do is select the tool side face and machine side face. Once we have both of those, we click OK. And Technology Manager is going to work some of its black magic. So what this is doing right now is generating the parametric model along with the 3D model that is in NX along with all of its values and importing that into Technology Manager. It's also good to note here that Technology Manager, when we're importing these, this is for reuse. It is not meant to having to follow these steps every single time we want to bring in a tool holder. So this tool holder that we just imported can now be used for as many as tooling assemblies as needed just by switching out the inserts. So we can see here we have the parametric model laying on top of the 3D model. We can zoom in here to see if there's any discrepancies or errors. We can see all the values that were brought over from the model right here in Technology Manager. Technology Manager also allows for us to toggle between which view we want to see. So do we want to just see the parametric value, or do we want to see the 3D model? For this tool assembly, I'm going to work with the 3D model. You can see here and interact with it just like we can in NX. Before we hit next, I'm going to go back, add in a description. Make sure we're in the correct units. Display that we want this to be saved as a 3D model. And then, just like we can make customizations to the classification structure, we can also make custom attributes for each tool component and assembly. So for milling holders, we have machine side and tool side clamping as some of our custom attributes. So I will select the HSK 100 for machine side clamping, and Tendo for the tool side clamping. And again, these can be completely customizable to fit your business process needs. So we can have supplier data here, manufacturing data here, anything not out of the box that you want with your tool components can be saved here and sent into NX to later be used in shop documents and post-processors. Once I click next, we'll again get a preview. Change the name and finish. Once we have our components built out, we can now create our assembly. We're going to select milling drilling assembly, and from here we're going to be prompted to select our tool holder. So we can use the search bar within Technology Manager, or we can manually go through and try to find which holder we're looking for. To make this quicker, I'm simply going to search on one of the custom attributes I just assigned to the tool holder. So the machine side clamping HSK 100, this is the holder we're looking for. Coming through here now, we can easily find the tool holder that we just created. Once we have the tool holder, we can now find our base tool. So instead of searching on a custom attribute, we can now search on an actual attribute assigned to our 1/4 inch end mill. Scroll down, we'll be able to find the base tool we just created. So from here, we're getting a nice representation of what tool assembly is going to look like. Now I know another huge issue when you're building out tool assemblies within NX is adding in extensions or additional components. Luckily, Technology Manager has these quick add buttons that allows us to go in and add in any additional components. So now I'm going to add in a extension. So we'll go down our classification tree, find extensions, and we can toggle between all the available extensions, and on the right hand side of the preview window we're going to see which one fits and makes sense. You can see here this one will work great for our tool assembly. When I click OK, we're now getting this whole tool assembly built out from these components, and I can change some of the clamping and stick out links. Technology Manager also allows for you to quickly hop between components. So you don't have to just look at the tool assembly here, you're also able to look into components and find any additional attributes or information related to those tools. You can see here we have our clamping length. We can change our stick out length as well. Voila, once we have this information in place, all we have to do is finish up adding in some of our tool assembly information. Make sure everything looks correct. We can see here we have another custom attribute for machine, so we know what machine this tool assembly is meant for. Once I click next, you can see here, nice preview window again. Make changes to the name. And click finish. Now we have our tool assembly built in Technology Manager. Now let's see how easy it is to send this 3D model into NX. So once I click Create NX 3D Tool, hop back into NX. We're now going to see that tool that we just created using the tool holder that was imported, the extension that was already in the database, and the end mill insert that we created in Technology Manager all be put together and represented here in a 3D model. Now, I know that was quick, so I'll quickly open that back up for you. We can see here we have our full 3D tool right inside NX. We just created minutes ago in Technology Manager. It's also nice for those of you who use other tool management systems. You have to come in to NX and state which part of the tool is cutting, non-cutting. Luckily, Technology Manager takes care of this for us. You can see here that this was already assigned to this tool assembly when it was imported back into NX. You can also see when we select tool base that the tool mount junctions are already in place for the tool tip and machine side, making it a lot easier and quicker than previously able to with other solutions. Once we have our tool built, now we would like to see it in simulation. So I will go back to Technology Manager. I'm going to minimize this window, make it a little bit easier for you to see. Hop back into the tool assembly. So what we typically see with customers is they have Technology Manager opened on one screen and NX open on the other, so programmers can quickly toggle between sending tools to and from NX. So standing on the spindle, once I click this button, load entity into NX, we're going to see this tool populate right here at the bottom. And just like that, we have our tool assembly loaded and ready to go in our machine kit. Now I'm going to drag over an operation, quickly generate the tool path, and begin simulation. So I click play here. See how easy it is from creating a tool assembly, all the different components we made, how we made each of them. We already have it in NX working in simulation, checking for collisions and getting full feedback through our NX session. Things that would, typically take hours are now done within 10 minutes or less. Once we're done here with the milling tool assembly, we can now show how easy it is to not only create milling tool assemblies with Technology Manager, but also turning. So here is another turning holder that we can use the Technology Manager import to send into Technology Manager, create a tool assembly, and then use back in NX. So we'll switch back to Technology Manager. Go down to components. We're going to build out a turning holder this time. So just like the milling holder, there's no preview on the right hand side, and on the left hand side we just have details related to the tool turning component. So we have to do the 3D import again. So as simple as a couple button clicks, we're back in NX. It's asking us to select the body of the tool. Where is the tool mount junction, rotate it for the machine, select the insert reference point, then select the insert orientation. Once we click OK, Technology Manager is again going to be working its black magic here to import this 3D model, its attributes, back into Technology Manager. Once again, importing this only has to be done one time, and then you can build out tool assemblies as many times as you want with different inserts for each holder. But it's really nice that Technology Manager allows this ease of use to be able to reuse tooling components. So a couple seconds here, we will see that turning holder populate here within Technology Manager. And just like in NX, you can fully examine the tool holder and make sure everything looks correct. Once we have that imported, we can come and add a description. Make sure the units are correct. Click Next. So hit Validate. We'll see that the name generator takes the name. And again, just like milling and drilling assemblies, this name generator can be configured to have prefixes, suffixes, or any type of name number combination that you currently use or want to implement for your business in regards to tooling naming conventions. Click Finish. We're going to see the holder populate here and the components, and we can quickly build out a turning assembly. We're going to select turning assembly, and it's going to prompt us to find the holder we just made. We can search by the name. As you can see, over the course of the assembly creation I've done, there's multiple different ways to use this search bar, really to make it as easy as possible. You can see here, this is our correct tool. And click OK. Now we can find our turning insert. From here, use the DMG 55 sharp, and we can see that this insert looks good, but it's a little bit out of line, so I can quickly orientate this angle. That looks good. Double clicking it'll lock it in place. You can see now it lines up a lot better. Once we have that created, you can come over here, add in any other information or details to the assembly, such as tool number or description. Make sure the units are correct. And again, any custom attributes that we want to see here, we can have here. I'll say that this turning assembly is meant for our second machine. So I click Next. One final preview window. Change the name. Click Finish. And now we can send this over to NX to be created as a tool assembly. Once I click 3D model import, hop back over to NX, we will see the step file import and build out this new tool assembly. Again, we're doing this all in a matter of minutes. Processes that took a very long time are a lot quicker now using Technology Manager as your tool creation. You can open this back up, examine it further, make sure everything looks correct. Now we can jump into our DMG machine kit, switch over to our operation navigator, and load in our brand new turning tool assembly into this machine pocket. So just open up Technology Manager, click the Load Entity to NX button. We're going to see here on the left hand side our turning assembly is now within our NX session. And now once the tool assembly has been loaded, we can bring over an operation, put it under that tool assembly, generate a new tool path, and from here we can do something we didn't do with the milling assembly, and that is verification with the tool in case you don't have full simulation. We can come here, select we want to use the whole assembly. We can verify this tool path right here in our NX session with that brand new tool assembly we just created moments ago. Once we verified, we can also run a full machine simulation. Now all we have to do is come up here and click play, and we're going to see our new machine kit in action with our brand new turning tool assembly. You get a full simulation right here in your NX session with a tool assembly you created minutes ago, checking for any collisions and making sure you're on that correct path. Once the simulation is done, click finish, and that will conclude our demonstration of Technology Manager. It was great having you, and thank you for spending the time with us. Of course, feel free to reach out to us with any questions you might have about Technology Manager or anything else you saw today during this demonstration. We look forward to seeing you one-on-one in the near future so we can figure out how Technology Manager can benefit you and your business. Thanks, and have a great day.